Sometimes what I like to do with a little new thing that I like to do with my guests is I'll do like three questions with Liberal Dan, and usually two of them are related to the guest, and then the last one is everybody's going to get the same question. So, and of course, there's no wrong answer, even if there's no answer. First one is, do you have a favorite song by Ozzy, and if so, what might that be?
Um, Funnily enough, I didn't even want to really listen to any Ozzy after he died,
Hmm.
and it's only been since I've been back here the last couple of days, and twice I've put on some old stuff just while I've been sort of pottering around the house. And there's a song off his second album, Diary of a Madman, called "You Can't Kill Rock and Roll," and I
Hmm.
really love that song. I love that whole album. That was the album that I fell in love with. There's also a song I really love. The song "Sato Sato," and I love "Diary of a Madman." The title track. So, but if I had to pick one Aussie song, it would be "You Can't Kill Rock and Roll," which is a bit of a deeper cut. I mean, it was never released as a single or anything, but I always loved it.
And I mean, clearly, I mean, he's with his longevity. Obviously, you can't, right? So, the second question is also Ozzy related. Of all the concerts that you've been to, do you have one that stands out as your favorite?
The first and the last, the very first show I ever saw in 1984. It was the
Hmm.
first time I saw him at a big rock festival in England called Monsters of Rock. AC/DC, Van Halen, Motley Crue, and he was fabulous. I mean, I'd been a fan for years, and that was the first time I saw him, and that was
Hmm.
he was fantastic that day. I also saw there was a show in Austin he did that was truly fantastic in '96 or '97. So much so he never went to bed. He was so jacked from the show, he never even went to bed that night. He stayed up all night. That again was a fantastic show. And then just right at the end, for all the emotional reasons, because even though we obviously didn't know what was going to happen, but we all did know it was going to be his last show, and he nailed it. He was fantastic. So that first and the last, it was a hell of a way to bookend, but that spanned 41 years and about 200 and something odd shows. So yeah, a good way to start and a good way to finish.
Wow. And then the third one, non Ozzy related. Who is your favorite Beatle from when they were in the Beatles? And then who is your favorite Beatle from their careers outside the Beatles?
Well, I would have to say John Lennon during the in the Beatles, just because I loved Working Class Hero so much.
Hmm.
Even though that was a solo stuff, but I like John Lennon. I just some of the how dry, I guess, and sarcastic he was. So
Hmm.
John Lennon in the Beatles, out of the Beatles. Um, I don't know. I guess the only one I've ever seen live is McCartney, so I'll have to go with McCartney, just because he's the only guy. I was glad I saw a Beatle live, because I feel they did change music. So John Lennon and Paul McCartney, which is probably what everybody says in that order or the reverse order.
I mean, shockingly, mine's more George during, but afterwards, I'm also Paul McCartney, and I was lucky enough to see Paul McCartney the last time he was here in New Orleans, and it was the week of my birthday, and he sang "Birthday," so that just made me very happy as well. So thank you very much for humoring me with the three questions with Liberal Dan. Um, is there any plans in the works for another book that you might write sometime in the future?
No, absolutely not. It's not as you know, it's not um, a prolific career move. This is only my third book in 16 years.
Hmm.
16 years, yeah. It took, so I'm averaging one book every 5 years.
Hmm.
And no, I really don't have any. Well, I say that I have an idea. I have an inkling, perhaps, shall we say, but it's a long way off.
Sure.
But maybe, but I'm certainly not thinking about that just yet.